All right, hola guys, ¿qué paso? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. It's good to be back. I've been awfully busy these last few days, and I had a few moments, and so I wanted to upload just a quick video, let y'all know where I think we are. So without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. It's not looking real good, is it? I mean, I think there's blood in the forecast. There's more blood in the forecast. It's coming. We're just waiting on the knife that's going to cut, aka the catalyst. It's going to cause the blood. We see here from the algorithm, the 4-year cycle algorithm from 2022. You see how we had this sell off here, and that's where we are in the algorithm. So, yeah, I'm expecting something in the next few days, perhaps a week, probably not more than 2 weeks. I think it's going to be within 2 weeks. Something is going to necessitate this a sell off. Now, this is where we are today. Yeah, we're going to drop down because we're going to mitigate the selling climax, which is what happens in every trading range. We have a mitigation point here. And so I think that this is coming. We just need a catalyst to send this down, basically this, whatever caused this 4 years ago. So I have a few ideas of what may catalyze something like that. Indeed, if we look at Crypto Panic, the news aggregator, it's not looking good. There's a lot of doom in the news. JP Morgan says Clarity Act uncertainty is holding crypto back. Yeah. So we know that the Senate has cooled the jets. The Senate has put the Clarity Act thing on the back burner now, and it's not a priority. And I think yeah, that says a lot. I think that's going to instill some doubt and fear in investors. They're going to be less enthusiastic about putting money in high risk assets such as crypto. Let's see. Bitcoin reclaimed 65,000 as July gains top 10% after Fed pause. All right, that's neither here nor there. Morgan Stanley, Ethereum, and Solana ETFs outperform rivals. Okay. South Korea to tax crypto gains. Okay, well, they didn't. Maybe I need to move to, well, not now, but they didn't tax it before. What are some of the countries that tax crypto gains? I think Greece doesn't tax. I know Puerto Rico, I think. And Portugal, I've heard some things about that. Anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent. Bitcoin, Ethereum. So we say analyst compares SpaceX. Okay, Bitcoin. Let's see. BitMEX wipes out 35 derivatives as exchange shutdown approaches. Remember, guys, I told you as we get closer to doomsday, you're going to find more and more of these exchanges that no one's really ever heard of going belly up. Some people have heard of them. BitMEX, I think these guys reached out to me. They wanted to sponsor me. I get sponsor emails all the time from these exchanges from Europe and somewhere out in the islands somewhere in the Pacific, way out. Not here in the United States, not mainland United States, obviously, or even in the Virgin Islands, reaching out to me all the time to sponsor. Just guys, stop reaching out to me, please. I don't need sponsors. I don't do that. And so, precisely because of stuff like this. So BitMEX wipes out 35 derivatives as exchange shutdown approaches with punishing post-closure fees. Bitcoin mining. So all of this, for the most part, has been bad, right? AI infra stocks rocket as shorts get burned. JP Morgan sends a huge Bitcoin warning. This bill must pass. Bitcoin's final bear lake. History says 35,000. On-chain data disagrees. 90% shareholder rebellion. Bitcoin quantum threat inches closer as IBM claims trusted quantum advantage. Kathy Wood once said, sell gold and buy Bitcoin. Here is whether she got it right. Okay. So is the Bitcoin sell-off about to get worse? Now, when they ask this question, it means yes. Usually means yes. Is it going to get worse? Yeah. Yeah, it's probably going to get worse. If it wasn't going to get worse, they wouldn't bring it up at all. And so it takes us back to the algorithm. All this is in anticipation of this sort of a drop that you see coming in the same place in the Newpol here in the supply vortex. See how the trajectory of the Newpol has come back down, while the smooth moving average. Basically, these are going to meet up, kind of like it did here. The question is whether or not they meet up beneath the zero line. If they meet up beneath the zero line, we're going to have a triple red, and it's really that's the basically the harbinger of the secondary test closing out. So, all right, what time is it? All right, I got to get going. What else we got here? What else we got here? All right, so this is a 3-day Bitcoin on a logarithmic with the Iron Dome. Usually I use the Iron Dome theory on a daily. It seems to work best with the domes, but you could also do it on a 3-day. It's just the domes aren't as precise, but you can still see the domes. I have this coded where the domes are shaded red every time we've had a dome. Every 4 years, you see it's like clockwork. Every 4 years we get the Iron Dome. That's the 400 and the 200 crisscrossing. Except for 2011. Now this is on the 3-day, and then it doesn't come back up over. The theory stands until the price drops beneath the 200 weekly SMA, between the 200 weekly and the 2100 VWAP. That's what this green line represents here. And so everywhere where the price has gone under this green line, it happens where a dome is. It's under the dome. So coincidence or not, I don't believe so. I think it's just this proves the legitimacy of the 4-year cycle algo. We see it bottoms out at the bottom here of every 4-year cycle, bear bottom macro. There, 2020, here's 2022, and here's 2026. This is what pertains to us today, 2026. So we go down here to the STH Newpol, and we see that the bottom, with the exception of 2011, which I don't really count because Bitcoin began in 2009. So 2011 is kind of like a mid-cycle kind of deal, kind of like COVID was a mid-cycle kind of aberration or black swan event for the 2018, after the 2018 bear market bottom. And so we see that on every bear market bottom of every legit 4-year cycle, we see the STH Newpol lows hit this zone here that I put in like a yellow elongated rectangle. You see it down here? This is where it reached down every, this was like, absolute, zero, ground zero of the bottom of the bear market of that respective cycle. So in 2014, here's 2014s, here's 2018s, COVID. Even though COVID went down, this is it came right back up, retraced right away. It didn't quite make it down, obviously, into the vortex down here. But it was mid-cycle. But then again in 2022, right, 2 years later after COVID, here we had it again in the same zone. So 3 in a row here, and this is on the logarithmic, incidentally. Brings us to 2026. We haven't even really scratched the surface yet. We still got a lot of ways to fall. I did a video on this, my last video. If you haven't seen it, check it out, where I go much more into detail. We're like triple red now beneath the zero line. And so we'll get more of a forensic look now. We'll go into a Wyckoff. I did kind of like a pseudo Wyckoff here with the Newpol and the in the vertical bar volume. One sec. I'm thirsty, man. It's hot in Texas. I got a drink. Sparkling water. That's what I drink. All right, so this is looking. So you see the events here for the Wyckoff: selling climax, automatic rally, secondary test. This is on a 2-hour. We got the sign of weakness in B. Then we have the upthrust action here. These two rally peaks coming back down. We anchored the anchored VWAP to the selling climax, what kind of serves as like a trading range midpoint. And then we had the UTAD. All of this is theoretical Wyckoff. So it's jiving, and then of course we do the sell-offs with the last points of supply coming down through the ice. Here now we look in the Newpol. This is all triple red territory now, as it should be. So this is like a legit UTAD. where we have the supply selling off now, coming down beneath the ice, and then we have another LPSY zone with the sign of weakness. Now, all this is drawn out and typified with the Nupal waves here. And so we see the divergence from the sign of weakness coming up in the price action. Here in the Nupal, we have the slope going down, so we have bearish divergence. So this is more and more looking like a legit sign of weakness that is fixing to mark down even more, and this would kind of set the stage for what we were talking, how we opened this video, for something like this. All we're needing is that catalyst. All we're needing is the knife. There shall be blood. We're just, what kind of knife is it going to be? We're just waiting on the knife to catalyze that, that cut, so Bitcoin bleeds out. Is it going to be something? Is it going to be a slew of exchanges going belly up? Is it going to be something from the Federal Open Market Committee? Is it going to be something in regards to the Clarity Act? I don't know, but it's going to be something. We need something to effectuate this kind of drop this year. So for this cycle. So anyway, going back to this Wyckoff. Look at the linear supply vortex, regardless of the peaks of where these liquidity runs have reached up to. We see the supply vortex in the Nupal is quite linear. Another sign that this is a redistribution, fixing to put down another leg. This is market makers selling at these pre-designated order blocks here, regardless of the value of Bitcoin. You understand that? So anytime Bitcoin makes a peak and it goes into overbought territory here, it's unsustainable. That rally is unsustainable, and it's coming back down. They're just cash grabs. Coming back down with the end game is further sell-off. We have this striking anomaly right here at the end, where we have this humongous freaking volume demand spike. But look where it comes in right here. See where it broke this micro trend support line and then tried to re-enter the structure. Remember, we talked about this. If you've been following my videos, this should be something that should not be alien to you. It's when price breaks out of a major parental structure, it always tries to re-enter. It's like water escaping a pipe, tries to get back into the pipe. It's like reverse osmosis. And that's what it did here. You see how it broke this? We had this trend support line from this sign of weakness bottom here. And you see, maybe if I kind of blow this up a little bit, you see where it tried to come back in and re-enter it, but this support line has already been flipped to resistance and it wasn't able to. Well, it came in right here. This is where all this gas came in to try to penetrate this wall. And it wasn't able to. So it amounted to a failure to, FTR, failure to rally. So effort should equal result in Wyckoff. We have all this effort, but we have such a pitiful result. There's no result in the price action. And so this is a bearish, even though this looks bullish, right? If somebody doesn't know how to read VSA, they think, oh, wow, look at all this, man. There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of demand in Bitcoin. No, this is actually not good. This is actually a sign of weakness, and it coincides with the sign of weakness in the Wyckoff. And then we look down here, and to top it off, all this has taken place under a sloping Nupal here. You see the highs are getting lower while the lows in the price action are getting higher. The highs are getting lower in the Nupal, and the lows are getting higher in the price action. This is bearish. This is weakness. This is not good. And then here, where we've had this failure to re-enter the structure after the break of structure, we've come down now and we're in triple red. And so again, this is on the 2-hour triple red, and we have a failure to re-enter the governing structure or flip the old support, trend support. Well, it's resistance now. Flip it back to support. It wasn't able to do so. And so again, all this is kind of looking like setting the stage for this kind of sell-off. And then we looked at the news and all the scary stuff right now, and the exchanges going belly up, and they're still unresolved. I think Russia just bombed the heck out of Ukraine yesterday or today. There's an earthquake, a cataclysmic earthquake in Japan, earthquakes in Venezuela. The economy is not good. Gas, food, everything is getting expensive, more and more expensive. Things just aren't looking good. We don't have, it doesn't look like there's any lights at the end of the tunnel. It looks just like more just bad news ahead. And certainly things in the crypto, in the price action and in the news aren't looking very optimistic. So continue to keep an eye on this. I'm going to keep an eye on the potential catalyst, the knife that's going to cut Bitcoin to make it bleed out. We need to see this kind of bleed out, and this is where the algorithm comes in. It doesn't have to happen 100%. Nothing has to happen. And so this is not financial advice, and I don't know the future and I don't have a crystal ball, but in keeping in step with the algorithm that's kept us safe since October of last year, we should expect something to catalyze a sell-off like this. I think this is like a 17% drop. So in the days, perhaps week to come, a week and a half, expect something to just send Bitcoin back down to the selling climax area to mitigate, which would be the end of the consummation of the secondary test. And for us, that sits at about 58,000, 58.8. So between 58 and 59. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks again for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and don't miss any more updates. I'll see some of you in the Discord. We'll talk about some more Zcash and Ethereum, some of the altcoins. Primarily here on YouTube, I just do Bitcoin. But in the Discord group, we talk about altcoins. We talk about anything you want. You bring a coin, if something, it could be some obscure coin. It doesn't matter. If you bring it, you put a chart up, I'll take a look at it. I'll give you my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. Again, nothing you see or hear here is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude on YouTube just sharing his technical analysis, and I've done well enough with it where I don't need sponsors. I could do this full time. I'm blessed, and I'd like to bless you. So, oh, by the way, if you need prayer, hollapablo@gmail.com. You know what's up. Prayer for anything, health, finances, just anything for you or your loved one. You could remain nameless. I don't need to know your business. I'm not a Roman Catholic priest. I just want to intercede for you if I can, and just come in agreement and pray for whatever needs you have, and may God get the glory. All right, guys, love you. I'll talk to you soon. I really got to go. See you later. Maybe tomorrow. Bye. Adios.